Hey guys, I'm Koko. Welcome to Sunless Skies. Today we're gonna be trying out a new series, a new game that is in early access on Steam, made by Feel Better Games that also made Sunless Sea, which was like the second game I ever played on my YouTube channel like 2.5 years ago. Awesome game, very story rich, and this one is a continuation of the sad game and the Fallen London and all that stuff. It's a Victorian, very story rich adventure indie something like that. I shall explain more as we go. But basically, while Fallen London and while the Sunless Sea was in the Untersee, which was below the earth, very dark, very mysterious, you were using your boat, steamboat, to travel around, trade, fight, do all those kinds of things, and you know, eat your crew, which is in here as well. Starvation is still here, and cannibalism, of course, is still in the game. In the Sunless Skies, you are now up in the sky. The Fallen London has been left behind. I mean, it still continues on, but the Victorians have now traveled to skies, still using their same steam engines, and we are now in the skies, and pretty much the same goes as before. So let's start a new game, and I'll show you how it goes. I played for like 20 minutes or something. And basically, since this is very early access, there's only 4 regions available right now. As it says here, you start with some fuel, extra fuel and supplies. And as you can apparently not make that much money yet. And you know what? Right now, the music is very loud, so I shall go and fix the audio a bit. Thank you, that's much better. Let's go down to something like that. Okay, thank you. Let's resume. So basically, again, it's very story rich, and welcome to Sunless Skies indeed. I don't really need to know anything about here. So this is our steam engine. I read some people saying on Steam that they're not liking the movement of your engine, but to me it feels very much the same as it did in the previous game, in the Sunless Sea. So every movement, all that is good. So our bat still works the same, and he has found something up here. As you can see, here are the 4 regions. The Reach is the first region in the game, which is available to us. Then we have Albion, the Blue Kingdom, and Eleutheria, which are not available. Earlier I tried to actually go over this edge, over the ridge, and it actually still goes onwards. I don't know for how long, and I don't know what happens out there, but it's possible. So we are in the March 14, 1905, and we're gonna go onwards. Basically, it still works the same. You have hull points. If this drops to 0, you're dead. You have heat, which goes up by firing guns and stuff. You have your crew members, which we have 10. And you have your fuel, which we have 4 right now. Let's actually wait a bit as I go through this. We have the fuel, which goes down. If you go out of fuel, you know, you're stuck. You don't have anything to do. Also supplies. If you run out of supplies, you are gonna die. You're gonna starve. And this is our terror level right now, which is only at level 1 right now. So that's all good. And as the Fallen London was the main hub in the Sunless Seas, we have here the new Winchester, I believe, is this one called, right? Yes. If I can actually find the center of it, I was just going through it. Now, right now, you can't create your own captain yet, because it's still very early access, it just came out. But you can level up, and this is the leveling up system. You still have the iron, you still have the mirrors, veils, and hearts as your skill points, or not skill points, but you know, abilities. That then those are skill checks in the talking to, I don't know, people, something like that. So we start with this level 1 urchin. You ran with the knotted sock. Once you race barefoot across the rooftops of old London in the company of other unfettered young scoundrels. And then when you reach new levels, as you gain experience, you can choose different stuff. So yes, let's try to find a port in this area. Where would that port be? Up here. Let's try to find that. And as you can see, it's up here. This is the new Winchester, and basically as as in Fall in London. Oh great, I just hit the port and I lost some hull points. Great, just one though. That's fine. So again, you have the options to click here and see storylines. We have Wolvesey Station, Victory Hall, and Company House around here. And then we have a bunch of shops. I can buy some stuff. Although I think my hull is not quite full, but we might get some stuff. So let's go through story stuff first. Wolvesey Station, the clamoring central station of the New Winchester, a place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for skilled captain's service. So we have first an opportunity, which is something you should definitely go for. An opportunity, the fastidious inspector. Excuse me, Captain. A woman. Okay, a woman. Let's try this again. Excuse me, Captain. A woman pushes through the crowds towards you. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent across the empire. I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch away. I can of course pay. Sure, pay sounds promising. Offer her passage. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman found her brandy done of diligence. Here, initial sum to seal our bargain. Port Prospect lies a long way to the northeast of New Winchester. Now, I don't know if this is always the same, but when I played for like 20 minutes, it was the same. Northeast was the same as before. So, because in Sunless Sea, only the west and south coast were always the same, and everything else was randomly generated. I don't know if this is the same here, but it might be. We'll see. So we got the inspector, we got 50 sovereigns, which is the money, and now we have total 100. Let's go explore the New Winchester. So we have an opportunity to transport a settler. And we can speak to the captains, we can repair our hull, which would be 5 sovereigns. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. And we can look for potential recruits. So let's start with the transport a settler. We can do that. One way to Lustrum, thanking you kindly. By Jove, I think it's finally my time to see the real frontier. He breaks off the handshake to cough into his sleeve. Forgive me, I'm hoping a new climate will improve my health. Please get me there as fast as possible. I will pay you well if you do. So we need to deliver a settler to Lustrum. Good. We're gonna be paid when we get there. Let's look for potential recruits. The occurrence, you were someone awaits you, quality is now 32. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we can recruit a quartermaster. Someone is loitering sheepishly by your locomotive. This will get you a placeholder quartermaster who will increase your ways by 3, your meters by 1, and your affiliation boheme by 1. Affiliation, I should say. I'm stupid. Sorry. I'm sorry. I can't read today. Let's speak to the captains. A grizzled captain who lost her left hand to frostbite shares her wisdom. The skies are dangerous. News of distant ports is valuable. Collect port reports from the places you visit and deliver them to Victory Hall or Company House. Now this is the same as the Sunless Seas. That's how you were making money early on. You can get the port reports and all that stuff, and you will get supplies and fuel for that as well. They will reward you, and the more you deliver at once, the more they'll pay. Look for other opportunities as you go, says a solemn stoker. There are always settlers looking for new homes, passengers who want to transport, or rich men in need of bloody work. Beautiful. I don't want to repair. We can't purchase our grand house, which is currently my ambition, the way to finish the game. So let's go to Victory Hall. Raised in the wake of the blockade of New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses the Colonial Assembly. Here, representatives of the independent ports of the Reach gather and quarrel. As you can see, the story unveils slowly. All this is locked for now, but we can chat with the indurate veteran. She's taking a moment in the atrium, watching the stars burn coldly in the mists. Learn how it can be of use to thicker something. Her skin is brown and her hair is beginning to gray. She wears a heavy unbuttoned coat. Metals gleam in the shadows behind its lapels. One half of her face is scarred from frostbite. She is enjoying a quiet cigarillo while her peers argue in the Chamber of Assembly. You talk for a while about life in the skies. When her cigarillo is just a stub, she says, I'd be grateful to hear your reports of your travels. I've suspicion all manner of aberration. Okay. Is going to kick off in the foreseeable. I'd like to be expecting it. Okay. As you visit ports, you may obtain port reports. Yes, we're gonna deliver them to you. Now let's go to Company House, where resides this girl. Prudence Secretary. Following the uprising, the fortunes of Windward Company fell in New Winchester. Now the modest offices occupy an thinning factory in the murkier recesses of town. It continues to smell faintly of beans. So let's talk with you. The secretary's gender is the subject of some debate in the company's canteen. I'm sorry, I just hit my microphone. The secretary's prudence, however, is not. I would be interested to receive reports on events in other ports. However small, the company has expensive interest. One never knows what might be important. As you visit ports, you may obtain strategic information. And we can turn them in here. So that's all we can do right now. We still have some hull space, right? Yes. So basically what you're gonna do, we're gonna go to engine provision, we're gonna buy one fuel, and we're gonna buy one piece of supplies. As you can see, the prices are here. And usually, at least in Sunless Sea, it was that some ports had some supplies cheaper, and you know, you could trade. So right now we need to go roughly to the northeast, far to the northeast, to deliver the lady. We have some story stuff. Okay, a coggy conversation. The fastidious inspector has a round face, brown eyes, and short dark hair. Okay, she gives the impression of being perpetually busy. Begin with pleasantries. Okay. I suppose it is rather gusty, she says. My work requires extensive travel. I've grown accustomed to the high wilderness, little tantrums, and your engine weathers them well. Some of the vessels I've been on couldn't even keep the wind on the outside. Inquire about her work, discuss the reach. What do you do, lady? She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if I can't agree what date it is? If it can't agree. Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than was. Our trade has seen to that. Okay, so let's ask for news of London. London sits in her coat of smog. Courtiers squabble at the foot of the throne of ours, hoping to receive endowments of years. Meanwhile, hard-working civil servants labor to ensure everything runs as it should. Was there a touch of arcness here? All as normal. I miss her though. There is no city like London in all the skies, and Albion is very different to the Reach, much more civilized. Good, okay. Let's just go onwards. Onwards. You can press C to cruise, so that's what we're gonna do. And as we get a bit outer from the whole city area, I'm gonna release my scout, and hopefully he's gonna tell me if there's something of interest. Also, as you can see, the terror always resets when you visit a port. But if your terror goes up, right now is level 1, if you go to level 2, which is I think is suspicious or something, that will not then reset back to level 1. So you gotta be careful. You gotta visit those ports early and often. So let's do that. Are we far enough? Yeah, let's send our bat out, see what he can find. Maybe he won't find anything. Oh, here's something of interest. Oh, down south. Let's go back. You know what? We're gonna go back. I should have sent the bat out earlier. Now let's see what we can find. We are on March 17th, 1905. Just using our little engine. So as you can see, we have our quartermaster now, which increases Wales, mirrors, and affiliation to Boheme. And as you get signaler, chief engineer, mascot, and first officer, that will increase as well, apparently. In Sunless Sea, you had them all up here, so you could see who you had. A heady pollen scent permeates the bridge, fierce as blooming lilies. What is this area? A stop clock. The fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I notice your ship's clock has stopped. Perhaps you'd permit me to repair it. She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Sure, you can do it. She gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon as she has the back of the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obtuse horological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. Good. She's attempting to... I can compliment her skills. Okay. Thank you, she says. A small, embarrassed silence. Well, it's possible the inspector is pleased. It's rather hard to tell. Good stuff. I'm not gonna compliment you anymore, I'm sorry. So what do we have here? This is another town? Oh, there it is. Let's go. Let's go to the port. Which town is this? Or whatever this is. What is it? Titania. Welcome. An argument between artists. Titania whispered through the reach to be perfume paradise for artists. Perhaps it could be, but currently it's little more than a few houses built around a plaza. If they're able to agree on an ununified aesthetic, which, if the shouts from Valentine Square are anything to go by, is unlikely. The debaters stand before their rhapsodic mayor, desperate to convince her to decide the question in their favor. She only listens, her dreamy smile widening with each line of argument. Let's approach the mayor. The mayor shakes your hand, then so does the pharaonic enthusiast, a precious pleasure, the formidable Onagata, charmed, I'm sure, and the efflorescent dandy. Welcome, Petal. The mayor claps her hand and looks heavenward. I'm troubled, beset by visions, while sleeping and waking, of how our little port may look. Their beauty captivates me, paralyzes me, stuns me. They are all so wonderful, I simply cannot choose between them. She sighs and turns her eyes to you. But you're neutral, won't you help us? So we can side with the pharaonic aficionado, an Egyptian aesthetic, argue on the behalf of the formidable lacquerer, a Japanese aesthetic, or take up the efflorescence dandy's mantle, a vegetable aesthetic. A vegetable? Okay, so we can go with someone. You know what? What we have here? Mythology written into grand designs, all blue and gold, divinely inspired, the preferred choice of kings and queens. Tranquil and melancholic, like the stillness of ancient ponds, bombastic and colorful, like a drunken revel under paper lanterns, always perfect to the finest detail. Let's go with the Egyptian aesthetic, sure. We got 1 moment of his inspiration, 100 experience. Good. The enthusiast strokes her false beard in delight. Okay, looks like everyone is a woman here in the skies. The mayor claps. The others slink away defeated. After the enthusiast excuses herself to gather her model pyramids, the mayor winks. If I decided on one, I'd have risked the scorn of the other two. Sure. Our perfumed parliament has trouble getting along. Thank you. Onwards to glory. The hope of Titania. Are we in the port, actually? Did I hit the thingy again? No, I didn't. Okay. Valentine Square. The hope of Titania. The rhapsodic mayor invites you to sit with her on the bench. Have you ever seen anywhere so beautiful? She asks, inhaling the perfumed air. We'll fill our home with obelisks, all decorated with the most beautiful hieroglyphics. Perhaps a tasteful sphinx in Valentine Square. But if we're truly to be haven for the arts, we must embark on the greater projects. Unfortunately, we're limited on space and work with no budget to speak of. We rely entirely on donations. Would you mind taking a look at our plans? Sure. Hear her out. She pecks your cheek and leads you to her small office at the end of the square. A building as makeshift as any on the frontier, but its sins have been covered with a fresh white coat of paint, and the carved filigree enhanced by delicious colors. Continue. Okay. The mayor's office. The walls are lined with blueprints submitted by the mayor's perfumed parliament. You've met our statisticians, but these come from our architects. We have submissions from every artistic school. The rhapsodic mayor proudly notes, the celestials, the nocturnals, the sovereigns. Nothing would delight my heart than to build them all, but we've not the foundation laid to support every project, nor, frankly, the money. If I'm to assign public funds to one, the others will throw a fit, and the next thing you know, it will be civil war. But that's where you come in. If you provide external funding to a project, I may authorize it and see if it's built in peace. So, we can write a port report. That's what we should do first. Port report on Titania. Good. I can then pay for Imperial Ballroom. We need more sovereigns for that. Good. What do we need? Okay. So we can't pay for anything because we don't have the money. But we can consider other projects. Could you fund the destruction of a building? Okay. Can you change the aesthetics? No, you know what? Perhaps not. Let's go to Bloombower. Bloombower undeveloped. Here in Titania, here the Titanians keep their homes and private workshops. They are painted blue and gold and lit by torches. Let's tour this with the mayor. You walk through the winding streets with the rhapsodic mayor. We're starting small here, then branching outward. The Celestials suggest a ballroom for us, while the Nocturnals want a theater for the tragedies. The Sovereigns want a library. I'm overwhelmed by the possibilities. I think we might benefit them all. Okay, Cozy Park? Undeveloped? Okay, so basically I don't think there's anything developed here yet. Yeah, I guess I have to pay for that, huh? So no, I can buy gourd of chorister nectar or construction found. Good. So we're gonna go onwards. Titania, as beautiful as it is, it's not what we need right now. It's not what we are here for. We're gonna go northwards to glory. Now, something I wanted to say earlier, and I started saying it, but I forgot, is the controls of the actual ship. As you can see, you can do something like that, the maneuvers, but the heat's gonna go on if you do this. But this is useful when you're trying to avoid someone shooting at you. But people were saying that the controls are kind of clumsy. But you know what? As you can see, look at this. It responds beautifully and it responds naturally. It's not like a car from the old games when you just pressed right and it went right exactly. You know, this is it strafes and stuff like that. So I think it's actually a great way to travel. But anyway, this is just the first episode. I'm gonna play a couple more just to explore a bit this early access. I know there's not that much content yet available, but I would like to play some more. I mean, I played 21 episodes of Sunless Sea, and I really love the game. So hopefully I can play a couple more here, and later on, probably when it's more developed, I play the game fully. But yeah, for now, thank you all for watching. Do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider dropping a comment down below. Should I subscribe and see more doing magic? And as the bat returns, I'll see you next time. Coco out.